Yeah. Yeah, I think it's scary for the Chinese people that live in Western countries because if there was a very bad conflict, then how can they escape back to China?
I want to talk about this topic with you in English, but I can't based on my limited English level. I hope you can understand me. I try to speak in Spanish. 其实
Yeah,
你
you
这
can
个
just
话
tell me
题
in Chinese, but just go slow.
，yeah，你这个话题非常好关于就是西方人他们会去追求 asceticism 苦修主义、苦行主义者，像个和尚、像个苦行者一样的去追求精神上的自由或精神上的诉求。这个呢，我想说，为什么中国这样的人没有西方的那么多？因为中国经济发展快速发展，也就是最近几十年，就是你知道，改革开放是1978年开始的，所以呢，对，所以呢，中国以前是很穷的，而西方的资本主义，西方的资本主义进行已经很长一段时间了，你们很早就已经完成了叫什么工业化进程，已经进入到了 develop countries 行列，发达国家，而中国也、大陆说的是发达国家，说法不同，对，然后呢，就是我们中国有句话叫做，就是拿得起放得下，这个意思前提就是一个东西你要有，你要先能够拿得起，你才能放得下。如果一个东西你都没有拥有过，you don't have it, so how can you say, you can give up, right? Give up the requisite, the prerequisite for giving up is that you have it at first and then you give up, and then you can give up. So,
That's correct.
我认为，因为中国很多中产阶级还有那些有钱人，他们是一种非常快的一种暴富的一个速度，一夜暴富，或者说就几年就变成了亿万富翁，他们是很难做到，就是说我去马上去追求自己精神上的满足。很多有钱人他们会陷入一种困境之中，他们会陷入一种人生迷茫中，就是因为他们挣钱压力是很大的，但是挣了那么多钱，他又没有时间、没有精力去享受人生的乐趣。那挣钱的目的是什么？他们所享受的也就是什么物质
Hey guys,
materialism，但是他们已经
yeah, it's great.
太多了，这样的东西太多了，所以他们也会去考虑、去追求
Oh,
精神上
are
的
you guys
那
are you
种
guys learning
诉求。
English?
Mm.
我不知道你能不能听懂。我觉得一个核心的观点，我的观点就是说，要追求 asceticism, the first you must have materialism. If the people don't have materialism, if the people in the country are very poor, how can those people pursue asceticism? Why developed countries people, some of them will
Which country you
pursue
guys talking about right
asceticism
now?
because they have it. They have materialism before, so
Which country?
they want to
Yeah.
pursue advanced spirit, advanced needs,
You guys talk about
right?
China?
Hey, Abbas, can you just tolerate ambiguity for like 5 minutes?
Wait,
And then
pardon
we
me?
can explain everything.
Oh, okay, sorry. You want me to shut up? Oh, in China? So are you against China or are you with China?
Oh, for fuck's sake, man, go away.
What do you mean?
我说完了，我说话有点啰嗦，我的主要观点说完了，我主要观点已经说完了。 嗯嗯嗯嗯我觉得对于大多数人来说是这样的，不排除有些人他一出生他就从不排除对很少，大部分人如果你说希望他们不要那么在乎物质主义，我觉得一定是他要先拥有，才能谈放下。我去放下这些物质上的追求。如果他没有拥有过，他肯定会去追求。因为有个说法叫做那个什么人的心理需求层次，你知道吗？Hierarchy of human needs. The five levels. The basic level is is the bread, is the food, and the second level of the human needs are I think it's desire, human desires. It's bonding, I think, or now, and the top topic of the hierarchy level is self-realization, I think, 自我实现。So, 去追求这个苦修度，其实它是一个非常高的一个需求层次。前提是什么？就是说你要满足你的基本需求，对吧？如果说我很穷很穷，我都没办法买房买车，对，像在中国你没办法买房买车，你就意味着你很难结婚，在大陆是这样的，你很难结婚，就是怎么说呢？可能对于大多数人来说是很难做到说啊，我就这么一个人踏上人生的旅途，一个人去追求我精神上的那个自由，很难的。很多人，但是我承认一点，就是我们中国人，就是我说的是有个客观条件，是中国的经济发展情况和西方是不一样的。这个限制了中国人去探索自己的精神，因为要先解决物质需求嘛，对吧？但是我要承认一点，中国人的这个人格或者性格或者精神上面，在有些方面和西方人比是不如西方人的。什么？就是探索精神，就是我们不是低等，不是，我绝对没有，我绝对不会觉得西方人或者白人就比其他种族的人要高人一等，我没有这种感觉，我只是觉得中国人缺乏探索精神。什么叫探索精神呢？就是敢于去冒险，不惜代价的去探索。因为中国人吧，偏保守，偏现实，比较就是怎么说呢？这是一方面，还有一个就是说，就是不敢去探索自己的世界和外在的世界。呃，在历史进程中，其实
Yo, Ice Cream, want to fill me in?
I'm lost myself. I've lost myself. 我觉得我已经说不清了这个事情，但是我真感觉，中国人的探索精神是不如西方人的，我是真这么觉得。就是不管是向内的探索，就是自己的精神世界上的探索，还是向外在世界探索，有这个欲望。我们中国人当然有这个欲望。看我们那个中国不是有那个什么宇宙飞船啊，都已经登月了嘛，对吧？像就是载人最近的一个新闻说什么最近一段时间能够实现载人登月的，可能就是中国的宇航团队。因为美国它是在上个世纪六十年代和苏联搞那个军事竞赛的时候，美国是第一个，对吧？也是目前唯一一个登上月球的。对呀，对呀。但是现在这长达几十年还没有第二个国家登上过月球，就是中国人的探索精神，你说没有吧？那这个宇航，对这个宇航这个事情，宇宙航空啊，登月计划，你就能看到中国人探索精神是很强的，对吧？
Oh, you guys talk about Hong Kong and China? The what? Sorry?
We're talking about going to the moon.
Pardon me? Oh, you guys want to go to the moon? China? Oh, that's pretty cool. China wants to go to the moon. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the only thing, right? This is the only thing is that in English, right, we have a term and we say like this, right? We say the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Wow.
We say
The last part.
the road to hell
The
is
road
paved
to
with
the
intentions.
hell.
That could be seen like that in a way.
So, like, my response to what you said, Anxiety Fighter, is that, like, now, right, at this point in time, because of having to struggle, right, because of not having materialism, not having consumerism, there's a lot of ambition, right? There's a lot of ambition, there's a lot of hope, there's a lot of passion, and you know, you've suffered a lot of hardships, and they want to work really hard, and they want to do all this sort of thing, right? But the only thing is that once they actually achieve wealth, and most of the people are wealthy, right? Like there's a huge middle class in China, then they'll start to use drugs. They'll start to all get comfortable. They'll start to all have all sorts of sex and decadence. And
You're talking about complaints. You're talking about complacency, right?
Yeah, they'll become complacent, and all those good intentions.
Are you talking about the Western luxuries?
All those good intentions just go out the window, man.
Are you guys all from China right now? Are you guys China?
It starts good, and then it ends bad. And that's how it goes, man. I mean, you know, like they may very well go to the moon, but I mean, you know, I mean, like the average person that just the average person here, right? Shumin. I mean, what does that even mean? Going to the moon?
What does Shuming,
guys?
Right? Guys, what does Shuming mean?
Okay.
Normin, farmer.
Normin. I don't know.
Normal people.
Yeah. Normal normies.
Oh, the people, right?
Yeah, like I think one of the main things that I always think about Chinese people, right, is this, right? I always think they're very innocent, like they're very innocent. Like they haven't.
You really think so?
Some of the rich, like Chinese, right, like Fu or Die, right? They've experienced drugs and partying, and you know they've done all sorts of drugs and partying, all sorts of sex and Ferraris and whatever, bro.
You have to understand that the Chinese elites that come overseas is only like a certain percentage.
Yeah, okay, you know? Man. Okay, just can I finish what I'm saying without you butting in?
Yes, sir.
Like, I'll give you a chance, but
yes, sir.
But the thing is that the average person in China, like there's not a widespread culture of drug use like there is in every Western country. If you go into every Western country. There is an established widespread pattern of drug use and premarital fucking sex. Every just decadence in general. Everywhere, every Western country you go is a decadent country where the middle class has access to drugs and access to cars and access to all sorts of luxuries, right? So I think that like in this respect, Chinese people are very innocent. Most of the Chinese people I meet that come to Western countries, right? When they first come here, they're full of. In English, we say full of beans. We say they're full of beans, right? They've got all this. It means they've got all this energy. They've got all this passion, and they want to work hard, and they want to study as hard as possible. They want to make as much money as they can, and they want to, you know, buy a big house, and they want to have a big family and get a car and all this sort of stuff, right? And then what happens is they find out that in Western countries, that's not cool. It's not cool to do that. Like if you do that, you'll be outcasted from all your peers, right?
Well, that depends. No, honestly, that depends where you grew up in the Western world. Like who you mingle with. That's not fully true.
Right. But that's the general middle class culture. The general middle class culture in Western countries is not to you know do all this stuff. It doesn't align with what Chinese.
It depends who you surround yourself with. Because I lived in Western country.
So okay. So anyway, like what sometimes happens, and I've seen this with Chinese people, is they start to forget about a lot of things, like their dreams, and they start to hang out with Western people, and they start to maybe they try a few different drugs, and they probably they start watching Western TV, and they start listening to Western music, and they just forget about all that stuff, man. They forget about all these plans that they were going to go to the moon, and they were going to do all these great things, and they were going to do this and that, and they just forget about it, and after a while they just want to forget about a lot of that stuff, and they just want to fit in with Western culture, man. And their kid, and if they end up having children, that most of their children usually don't even speak Chinese, man.
But do you know why though? Like they don't bring their culture to the Western world?
Well, it's the same thing that happened.
I'll tell you why actually. Okay, like I'll give you an example. Like Japanese people, right? When they come to Western world, they still keep their culture. The reason why Chinese people don't bring culture to Western world is because we don't really have culture anymore ever since 1950s. That's the reason why, actually.
Yeah, true.
That's the biggest thing. It's the biggest answer, And the thing you said earlier about the outcast stuff, I actually can see what you're saying, but it's not necessarily true. Do you by any chance live in the Western world?
Yeah, I've lived in 3 Western countries. I've lived equal amounts of time in 3 main Western countries.
So where have you lived?
I lived 6 years, and I spent 7 years in Southern California. I spent 10 years in Australia, and I spent 8 years in New Zealand.
Oh, I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto.
Yeah, I lived on the west coast.
I'm born and raised in Canada. My family's been here for a while, though.
Yeah,
I've been here for over centuries. We're like one of the early Chinese immigrants.
Yeah. Well, that's completely different, isn't it?
But the early Chinese immigrants keep their traditions.
Yeah, definitely, because they had things to keep. Right?
The one who comes after the 50s, after the revolution, and if they decide to go to the Western world, that's when they lose their traditions.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yep, definitely.
So what language you speak? Go.
Sorry, what did you say?
What languages do you speak?
I speak a little bit of Putonghua, and I speak English, and I speak a little bit of I'll speak Maori. Like I speak Maori, the native language of New Zealand, pretty proficiently.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I only speak English and a little bit of Cantonese. That's it.
Oh yeah. To Taiwan. No, I haven't been to Taiwan, but I mean Taiwan is a perfect example.
Taiwan's a nice place, man.
Of
culture.
Like what happens when Chinese people sort of like they don't have any limits on all the Western stuff that they can access. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, cool. I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna tell you something. I like what you're talking about. I like the subject, right? But I'm just here to remind you that I'm not here to enforce it, but there's actually some people on the server who's a little bit iffy about talking about politics and culture, which is really weird. But I'm just letting you know and give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Because
I can't help
my friend
it,
has
man.
been called out. My friend has been called out for it on the server. He got banned.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know.
I do
because this server's really nice.
I do pretty well because most people that don't like what I'm saying just go away.
No, I'm just letting you know. I have no problem with what you're saying. I have no problem with what you're saying. I actually like what you're talking about, but I'm just here to tell you, because there's people on the server are like a little bit.
I've had them screaming at me before, man. I don't. Yeah. It doesn't really faze me because there's a lot of
there's a lot of pro CCP here. And,
I know. Look,
there's a lot of weird ones, and some of them are not even CCP parties. Some people are not even CCP parties, but they're still. They're too sensitive.
All right, here's the thing, right? Yeah. Okay, they're not too sensitive. Okay, I value sensitive.
No, this they are.
And I regret offending them. And whenever they
you didn't offend them. No, listen, brother. You didn't offend them. They just can't handle it.
Oh yeah. Well, look, when they come in here screaming and stuff, I always just admit that I really don't know what I'm talking about, and it's all hearsay. And like I'm kind of, this is just for entertainment value.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know though, because You don't want to be banned from this server. This server is pretty good on Discord. Actually, got admit.
Oh no, it's pretty good. It's not bad, but like
one of the top
main
Asian
things
servers
that's
on
kind of
Discord.
annoying about the server is that there's like people sort of always want to talk about boring stuff like movies and stuff like that. And I have severe ADHD and I can't actually hold a conversation to do with any of that stuff because I don't have the attention span. The only thing that actually holds my attention sufficiently is political and cultural things.
Yeah, I think me and you can have a really good conversation one day about this. Even better.
Yeah. But that's
Wait,
yeah. You guys
does Ice Cream
have the floor.
does Ice Cream speak English?
Yeah, they all speak English. I'm gonna say, look, I'm gonna teach you guys this thing in English. Okay, I'm gonna say you have the floor. Okay, this means that you can talk and I'll be quiet. That's what we say in English.
You're teaching the phrases.
Yeah. I think that phrases are a lot better. Like they're teaching just words and things like that. I think that like things like you have the floor. The other night I taught Anxiety Fighter. I taught him this one statement. It speaks volumes. You know how when we talk about like a movie or a book or something, we say it speaks volumes. Yeah. I taught him that. So yeah, I've been trying to teach him.
I think the easiest language to pick up in the world is English because they have an alphabet. They don't have a lot of rules, you know. Like Asian languages, they have too many rules.
Yeah, right? The rules make them smarter though. That's the only thing that pisses me off.
That is true. That's why Asian people are smart because if they can read a bunch of calligraphy, then they can remember a lot of.
Oh, dude, it forces them to think. I was telling people about it the other day. I was like, look, this is what I tell most Westerners, right? Because I'm Baizhongren, right? This is what I tell most.
What is Baizhongren?
Like a white person, like a European descendant, you know.
Oh, okay.
So this is what I tell most Western people. I'm like, look, you will never understand Chinese. You will never fucking understand, dude. You could spend 30 fucking years like trying and you'll never understand it. And these people are so much fucking smarter than you that you're so dumb you don't even realize how much smarter they are than you.
Yeah.
Dude, I went through life thinking I was smart, right? I went through life thinking I was a bit above average when I was in school and things like that. And then when I started learning Chinese and I started interacting with Chinese people in Chinese, I was like, whoa. These people are just so smart. Even I get tired of it. Like every time you have a conversation with Chinese people, it's got to be about something that's super fucking complicated. But I actually like it. I don't shy away from it. I like
Mr. Ko. I think like with the temperament you have and the way you are, I think the places you have immigrated to and stayed is not the best place for you. I think the best place for you is probably like San Francisco and New York.
Yeah, definitely. I was going to go to New York
kind of guy, because you're telling me about your Western experience with Chinese people. I think you need to. I think because you seem more of an open-minded person. I think you should go to like San Francisco or New York.
That the diaspora is.
Because most diaspora in Australia are like the late generations,
Oh yeah. Nah, they're annoying. They're so annoying because they're just.
No, they're not annoying. It's just a different approach,
Yeah, they feel stolen.
If you wanna meet the people with culture like our family or whatever, try going to like San Francisco. No, not Vancouver anymore. Vancouver's been.
Not Vancouver anymore.
Not anymore.
It's changed.
But go to San Francisco.
What do they call it? Jinshan or something? The Gold Mountain.
Gongsan.
Yeah, Gongsan. Yeah, in Cantonese.
The Golden Mountain.
Yeah.
Gongsan. You know why they call it? You know why they call Gongsan?
Because they used to be the gold rush, man.
Mm-hmm. During the Chinese slavery.
Yeah. They were like, let's get the fuck out of here and
my family were one of the people who were, who did this, stuff.
Yeah. And do you know also in New Zealand there was a gold rush here where there was lots of immigrants and stuff, man. And Fujian, I think from Fujian as well, maybe.
Fujian, I'm not too sure, but I know it's mostly
a bit later, I think.
The Cantonese people.
But yeah, heaps of Gongdong immigrants to here. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you like
San
Francisco
a little bit about
better.
the history. Yeah, and New York's got that history as well.
You should live in like